headset. Ah, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to head into the match. It's Dignitas versus Immuntiy. Best of 3 game coming up on Train, Mirage, and Inferno. And the winner gets to go to the next major championship in Global Offensive. There is a lot on the line here. It's actually a little bit weird, Natu. I've got you with me as well, and you should be able to hear your headset, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
hello.
There we go. It's all working just fine. I mean, this is a part that wasn't really brought up on the stage, but or on the panel here. But normally, traditionally, in a setting like this would be a semi-final, and you go into a grand final. If you win it for this type of tournament, you'd win, you know, maybe $40,000. There's more on the line here than that. This is actually crazy. It's like we have 4 grand finals today.
Yeah, it's prestige as well. That's the main thing for these competitors. It's not about the money. It's about getting yourself in that situation of playing an actual major. There's a lot on the line tonight, or today, rather.
Vince, what do you make of all of this? Train as the first map, Dignitas and Immuntiy. Most people seem to favor Dignitas in this. The Australians, so they seem fairly confident on stage.
They did. I just wonder if that's a bit of false bravado coming in, you know, just trying to G themselves up. Clearly, some of those shots that were fired, you know, could have kind of resonated with them a tiny bit. But I think I'd go the same way that a lot of the panel was, that I think Dignitas should have this 2-0.
2-0 Dignitas, yeah, it could. I mean, it could definitely happen. They are a really strong team. Schneider in the lineup as well. He seems to be just completely on point. Oh, I kind of hope we get to see all 3 maps. I really want that, but you know, as we saw yesterday with Skyret, sometimes you know, hoping for a score and actually getting it, you know, they're slightly different things. And you know, I did get a little bit excited to see Sonic up there with them. I mean, you guys didn't go over it too much. Do you want to do it quick now too? Sonic in Counter-Strike terms, in 1.6 terms, how big of a name is that?
Yeah, that's the world champion name. I guess the most known team he was a part of was MTW. Yeah. They were kryptonite to a lot of the big names, such as Fnatic, for example, and SK back in the days. We're talking WCGs. CPLs and such, and a bunch of titles that they won there. And always sort of, especially Fnatic was the one that really struggled against them the most, I think. It was Ave, the in-game leader, that just sort of had Fnatic's numbers back in the days. But Sonic was one of the main rivals on that team, and always a huge name in 1.16.
Yeah, and in a Danish context maybe especially, it feels like whenever people talk about sort of the good old days, MTW is a name that always pops up again and again.
It brings a tear to your eye.
It does a little bit, you know, it's a little bit of pride there as well. I am excited though, I've got to say, you know, Immuntiy, they were here just when the venue opened, like immediately they were there, they were setting up, they were getting ready. They seemed confident when I was talking to them as well, so I feel like that confidence factor is always something we talk about. We've seen what it does when a team lacks it. Renegades is something that we brought up earlier in this tournament as maybe being just a little bit off here, so...
I mean, the issues they had were not major. It's something they could recognize going back, watching those matches. Like I pointed out in the panel, it was a lot on the CT side that really lacked, and it was mostly, I would say, it's because of nerves and just the way they were reacting to 3-on-3s and such, where someone would push when he actually should have played passively, was the biggest issue.
Oh, well, Train as the first map. What can we expect here? What do you make of it in terms of who's most likely to win it? Is this a better map for Dignitas or Immuntiy, do you think?
I think this is a bit of a, yeah, it's a curveball at this point. We've not seen Train a lot from either team, really. Apparently, Dignitas has started to practice this recently. Something that Immuntiy didn't think that Dignitas was going to pick, so they left it out there open, sort of a risk. I still do think it's going to be Dignitas that it favors, though. No. I mean, I don't think Immuntiy back home get as much experience playing this map, actually.
Agreed. I think this will suit Dignitas' playstyle as well. But we are live into the first round here between these two teams, Dignitas versus Immuntiy. And Immuntiy are going to be starting on the T side here, Anders, in a very slow, steady approach right off the bat.
3 armors on the Dignitas side, so they're going to be able to take a couple of Glock shots here, but now the wait is over, and the Australian team going to be rushing into that B bomb side. Imagine opening up with the first kill on Pimp, and that's a great start. MSL trying to sneak up from behind is going to get the 1 kill, but look at the return. Ricky, Ustilo, and Imagine each going to get a kill, and it's going to be all up to Kirby here, alone in a 1 versus 4. Bomb ticking away, Ricky picking up the kill, and Immuntiy off to a very explosive start.
Another example of how important it is to get aggressive when you're going to that inner bomb side on terrorist side, getting those opening kills and then just sneaking your way up all the way to the back line of inner bomb side. It makes it such a hard retake for the CTs. And a flawless pistol round goes the way of Immunity.
It's a fantastic way to start as well, you know, just going to settle those nerves down a tiny bit for Immunity. They have, of course, tasted their sweetness of a major before.
I think it's a smart decision from Dignitas here. They're actually saving, making sure they have a lot of money going into that first weapon round.
And just a couple of pistols here, no armor either on the Dignitas side. They've got a Deagles and C75, and Immuntiy, they're going to replicate what they did earlier.
They absolutely are. There are pistols that are capable of picking up frags very quickly for Dignitas, but you can see this very fast push in from Sniper and Imagine, both chiming in with frags. AZ's going to answer back with the CZ, and the bomb is going to be down. So how could Dignitas possibly come back into this round?
It's going to be very tricky, isn't it? They're trying to see if they can get in there and get close to the bomb, but they don't have any kind of grenades to zone out the Immunity players. They also don't have a defuse kit, so I feel like the best they could have done here was actually maybe try and look for exit kills instead, rather than pushing the site. They could have even gone all the way back to Pop Dog to try and see if they could have gone up behind them there. I feel like fighting for the bomb site maybe was a bit too much, but Pip has picked up a P90 and is doing some decent damage. He's going to go up with the bomb, though. Ricky and James, I think they're both going to be fine, so a bit of an expensive round overall, actually.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Immunity just went into that inner bomb site very blind. They didn't have any knowledge. They just basically committed all in. It worked out in their way, but they had to pay a big price for it, though. Losing 3 guys is never optimal in this situation at all. That may haunt them going further in this half.
So going into the 3rd round here, again, it's no armor or anything. What do you think about this now? So just the idea that they're not buying armor in the 2nd round here, that seems to be sort of something that some European teams do, but not all.
You mean Dignitas?
Yeah, Dignitas.
Yeah, well, I mean, it means that they will have more coming into the first weapon round, which is always going to be important, especially on train. If your opponent likes to play fast, for example, you always want to be pre-nading, pre-molotoving, have the smokes on the choke points, making sure that it's a lot harder for terrorists to make attacks, but Stilo is already getting a frag, so let's get into the action.
Hampered Dignitas a tiny bit. They weren't able to save the P90 from the last round because, as you can see, it's just pistols across the board, and they should be back to work for Immunity. No real issues for them so far. 2 frags have dropped both the way of Dignitas. Bomb planted again. And there's maybe some exit frags coming in, but that's pretty much all they're going to get from this round.
Yeah, look at the health of Stilo and Ricky. It's really getting close to this still.
It's going to be annoying for Dignitas here. I mean, they must have known they did some good damage to at least 2 players, so it could have been a couple of more kills. And based off of a round where they just had 3 kills, then they go to killing nobody on the Dignitas side. That's a little bit annoying, because that means the economy, obviously, with the Terror side is going to be significantly better going into the first buy round here for the Danish side. And they pick up the AWP as well on Pimp early on here, so going straight for it, no time wasted. Ricky's got his on the other side. I think he already made the crossover there, and Pimp saw it. And no shots has been fired yet. But look at this, Schneider trying to do the early damage and very nearly catching Ricky.
Yeah, keeping the A1S as well. Both him and AZ not switching across to the A4. One of those A4s in the hands of MSL, still on the B side, but it's actually just him that's here for now. The rest of the team is occupying A, although 2 can quickly get and scurry through connector. Here comes the fast push onto the site. MSL is going to be all lit here, and he gets picked off through the smoke. I think that was from James. Bought up enough time for maybe Pimp to do some work, but this is going to be so difficult to retake for Dignitas.
A very frustrating situation here. Immunity once again inside this B bomb site. The bomb has gone down as well. AC with an important kill there on James, but he can't get the second one. Imagine's going to show up and refrag him. So now it's 3 versus 4. Ustilo trying to see if he can put a little bit closer here with the AK, and he's keeping them back. He picks up a kill, but they are not fighting for the bomb. They're just fighting to actually stay alive right now, Dignitas, and they realize it's too late. And that's the power of Immunity pushing that much aggressive after the bomb plant. Just trying to make sure that they can keep the pressure on Dignitas.
Yeah, the big part of it was the fact that they showed themselves in Ivy early in the round, and that committed that fourth guy to the outside bomb site. And then all of a sudden, Immuntiy attacked at the inner bomb site. Hack, good smoke placement, good flashes, getting that entry through the smoke, obviously helping a lot. And then just wasting a lot of time from that retake, which never got to happen. But Dignitas did save those 3 weapons, so that's going to enable them to buy on this 5th round.
I feel like that entry from James was absolutely crazy there for Immuntiy.
Exactly. He's been a huge part of them picking up these C rounds.
Yeah, MSL had no hope there. Like, nothing he could have done, just tap through the smoke. First frag this round will go the way of Dignitas, though. It's not a fantastic buy. They have 2 FAMASs, but it's enough to repel this potential push. But look at this, he's still out right through Pop Dog. Sprays can't connect on Schneider. Maybe Dignitas can finally get themselves on the board here.
Well, that looked like he was about to find 2 or maybe 3 people looking the wrong way, so pretty good job on Schneider to be able to pick up that kill there. He's going to go for a second one as well, and he takes down Sniper. That's going to be a tongue twister later on. And now it's down to Ricky in a 1 versus 5 here. It'd be great if he could do a little bit of damage. Looking at top of the bomb train, he's going to be able to shoot down Schneider. That's a very nice frag. Almost a little bit cinematic there. Still 1 versus 4. Jumps off the train and takes down AZ. What a shot. Ricky. We've been actually asking, where has Ricky been all along? Because there's been a bunch of other people stepping it up for Immuntiy. In the last major, in the group stage, he was on fire. And if he can bring it back now, that could actually be a huge difference here for the Australian side. I had sort of not quite given up on Ricky, but I'd, you know, almost. Now I'm feeling a bit more excited.
Even if he loses this round, it's shots like that that can definitely start to get the adrenaline pumping and make you believe that anything's possible.
Yep, and the economic dent he's going to be making to Dignitas, also helping them going further here. But it's not over for him. You never know with that op. Anything could happen.
Only 3 seconds, though, on the timer, so he's going to be
holding
the angle and waiting for time to tick down. And there we go, 4-1.
Should they have gone for it, Dignitas? Should they have been fighting for him? They had around 3,000, I think, of the remaining surviving players here. Should they have been running for that?
The issue is that Dignitas, with so little cash, it would have been a risk. If Ricky would have been able to get another kill, it could have been really bad for them going further. But a bit of a sloppy round from Immuntiy there, has to be said. Dying 1 by 1, not really a huge game plan for them.
Well, here is the man still with the AWP. And they may very well learn to regret that decision, Anders. And not chasing down the AWP if Ricky could start to pick up some frags for his team.
Have to look at the big picture, though.
It's going to be a little bit tricky here. If he can find openings, then yes, that'll be always something Dignitas will live to regret, but it's keeping that economy alive as well on the CT side. And might they end up in favor of Dignitas, especially if they can shut down these Tech-9s. They are playing quite heavily down on Ivy. I mean, again, they've got that 4-man stack going up at the A-bomb site. So if Immuntiy try and push Ivy right now, I think it's going to be really hard to make it through, and especially with some early grenade damage.
Very slow approach still from Immuntiy, all stacking on Ivy. I think Schneider just caught a glimpse of a player. He's going to go for the flashbang. Here comes the push. Beautiful crossfire from Dignitas. This should be easy peasy from this point on. Only the AWP remains. There's the first frag. Somehow he's still alive. And finally, he has been dropped by Dignitas.
Also, meat grinder in Ivy.
Yeah, I mean, it's great, isn't it? Because they see Schneider, obviously. He puts out the flashbang. Might not have been the best pop flash in the whole world. We've actually seen a different variety where you can sort of throw it into the train that's right behind you and it pops back out, which is really cool. But, you know, with Kirby on the corner, what does it really matter? They're not going to expect him to be there. So, yeah, they just end up being shut down. That's 2 rounds in a row here for the Dignitas side, and it's Tech-9 armor on Immuntiy. So a bit of a buy up here. And they're going to be maybe running right into MSL, who's playing on the slope. Looks like they slow it down just at the end. Looked like it was about to be a head-on collision there.
Yeah, they're looking for a setup here. Looks like they want to do that between inner bomb site, smoking off the second and third lane and the lower ramp, using those flashes properly. They picked up a few of them. Let's see if they can make a bomb plan out of this.
Still so much time left to play with, over a minute for Immuntiy to try and work in, and they're going to be going a bit earlier, trying to catch the transition in effect from Dignitas. In actual fact, MSL does nothing on the top of the train. He's going to have to hope that Pimp stands tall for grenades right now, as Dignitas have managed to answer back with AZ. Still 4 more frags to come down, and that bomb to defuse, and it's looking pretty good as AZ charges on in. He was heavily tagged in the process, though. He's still as close. Schneider takes him out.
That's all on Imagine and James, one of which is about to get picked off, or not. Imagine survives, but the bomb's been defused anyway.
We should start calling James the tank.
Yeah, that could be a good name.
He is getting so many opening kills.
I think we already have one tank though in RPK.
I don't know, but we
so
can have a second tank.
we could have a second Australian tank.
Exactly.
I could be alright with that. I mean, that flank coming in from Imagine is like, that's classic train, isn't it? Trying to sneak someone in like that. Schneider did die to him, but even just delaying him is still pretty good. And if you don't realize there's a terrorist coming through that way, you can ruin the whole round. But good job on Dignitas to end up picking up that round. Pim, he's got someone trapped in the corner, doesn't want to wait around for too much longer. That could have been a big opening.
Certainly could have been. As it stands though, again, I think they're really relying on Ricky to get some opening picks with this orb. If he can't connect anything, Immuntiy could very well start to feel the pinch here on their T side of train. But here comes the push, potentially from them. You can still see the bomb though is up towards the B side. Can quickly rotate through Pop Dog though.
Still the bomb outside of the B bomb site. Not really committing to anything, although eventually they'll have to. About 50 seconds left on the clock here. And Immuntiy making a bit of noise here over by B. Gonna maybe throw in a bit of a Molotov, but the way they're rotating back, you've got to think that this is a fake. And it's working to the extent that there are two people sort of in B, but not really that much. They're actually going to be rotating back into the A-bomb side here. And AZ looking for an opening. It's going to be Pip to take down James. And a good spray there as AZ drops one. It's a second kill for Pip, but now it's back into a 2 versus 2, and maybe even with the advantage here for Immuntiy.
So what can you do from this position? The bomb at least hasn't been planted just yet. There's 15 seconds left on the timer. MSL's going to pick up the first frag. That gives them a real opportunity to clutch this round out. Bomb is being planted. Well, just about in the nick of time. And now all of the pressure firmly on MSL's shoulders. He has the defuse kit. He's spotted Ustillo and got the kill. And will indeed bring us back to even. Very well played by MSL. And he picks up the AWP as well.
Yeah, what a recovery from Immuntiy in a situation that really looked, it was going Dignitas' way.
Yeah.
Going outside like that, it's always going to be a huge risk because there's so many angles you have to take cover. I mean, you don't have any smokes out there. But still, this Dignitas coming out on top.
Can I point out that Ricky did try and put down a decoy for his AWP to try and bait someone into peeking?
Yeah.
I used to advance that theory a lot, and people would laugh at me on Twitter and say it's never going to work. It didn't work this time, but I'm just saying I still think it's a viable idea.
It's a viable idea, for sure.
The mind game's real.
Oh, well, opening frag here for Schneider, going to take down James, and he gets a second kill too, and AC chiming in, and this is not looking too good. 2 versus 3, they've lost a lot of players on the Immuntiy side. Stilo going to bring it back though, and now we're in a 2 versus 2. Still no bomb plant, but this time there's plenty of time for the Australian side.
Absolutely, yeah. There's not a smoke, though, in the hands of Immuntiy, which could prove to be a bit of an issue with so many angles to cover. But, of course, that's one way to mitigate that problem, to take it into a 2-on-1. This time it's Pimp. He's got the AWP. He's been very inconsistent with this weapon since the trade-off, so it's going to do him the world good if he can pull this off. He spots the first player. It's down to him and Sniper.
Natsu, though, just in a 2 versus 2. Should they have waited for the terrorist side to go in for a plant before they start sort of peeking out too much there?
Yeah, the guy in Pop Dog, I think he committed to it too much. He should have just waited for information, see what's really going on, and then them committing together as CTs instead of going 1 by 1.
Well, I do love the positional change here from Pimp, just making sure he's in a completely different place from where he took the shot. So that's going to make it really hard for Sniper to figure out exactly what's going on. He's got the bomb, he's walking up onto the side, and he is slowly running out of time here. Eventually have to make a move. Is he going to check Sniper as well? Sniper checking Sniper, it makes sense. Going to be back down the ladder again, and Pimp has got a really good angle here. He's going to put the bomb down. One isn't faking it. He's just going to be holding it down, and Pimp creeping around the corner, but they're just dodging each other. He's got the grenade out, and he's going to walk right into it. Immuntiy will pick up the round, and that was a very, very interesting and slow 1 versus 1. Could have gone almost either way there.
Exactly. It's just a great example of how small the difference between winning and losing a round is. Take a step left, take a step right. It's a difference maker.
Very unfortunate for Pimp, though, I've got to say there, Anders.
It's going to be putting Dignitas in a forced buy situation, actually.
This is where things could get really sketchy for them. If they lose this, you're into kind of eco territory. But AZ with the CZ close range, not able to connect enough shots. Sniper's down to 5. This baits Schneider to just chase after him, and he gets it and backs away. So not a bad trade there for Dignitas, all things considered, but they have lost their second player.
We're going to see if this force-up is going to work here. Kjaerbye takes a kill on James as well, finally. He's gone down, a second headshot from Kjaerbye, and Pip rotating back around. Rookie, how does he pick up that kill? That was a full 180-degree turn to do that, and now it's stacked to a 1 versus 2. Last kill there. And now MSL is going to be alone. He's sneaking in at a good angle, but he's going to be looking the wrong way. And Ustilo picks it up. Immunity, bring it back. I have no idea how. If Ricky goes down, that round is done.
Yeah, that was the biggest kill of the round, obviously. Making a 180 sweep. And we're going to be seeing, yeah, here we go. It's Pimp behind him. He gets to, I think, like 10 bullets in and still doesn't manage to land it. But it's Immunity just really picking up the pace. And they're trading effectively and giving themselves a lot of opportunities. And it's going to be forcing Dignitas to a save round.
Yeah, this is the nightmare now for Dignitas. This is something we touched upon in the last round as well. There's a lot of pressure on them to try and deliver on their CT side. Immunity definitely turning up here with a lot of confidence, I've got to say. The way they've been peaking,
yeah,
Natsu, has been very impressive.
It's like a common theme right now. Going in inner bomb site, but it's an anti-eco.
Good damage being put out early on. MSL in the back lines, they don't check for him, which is a very common spot to be holding. I feel like more teams need to check that on the terrorist side. James doing a really good job, but he does eventually go down, so back into a 3 versus 3 here.
It certainly is. Make that a 3-on-2. Kjaerbye with the frag onto Sniper. He gets traded out, though. There's another one. And suddenly, all the pressure on the hands of the Orpa for Immunity. That smoke is going to slightly whiff off, I think, there. He's going to get pushed down, and Pimp lands the shot. There should be enough time to defuse as well, so Dignitas, they're going to take this eco round.
That's the thing with Immunity right now. It's these small mistakes to do. Not checking a common spot like that to begin with is just a huge error. And giving these type of players those opportunities, they're just going to take them and run with them.
I mean, playing on a stage that's pretty big here with a good audience as well, and just the pressure of the whole situation with this kind of round, you could bet if Dignitas were feeling a bit frustrated, that's going to really bring it back here.
And it's bringing Immunity to a save round as well, so the consequence is huge.
Just as things were starting to get really bad for Dignitas, they somehow bring it back. Still though, they're going to have to hang on here. MSL spots himself a couple players. The call will come across. You can see Pimp from Connector. He's just watching it with his trusty AWP. The bomb is coming in, and the frags are too. MSL with another 2 frags. It's all on Sniper, and he is going to get picked off very soon, I have to feel, for either AZ or MSL. He's about to walk into a crossfire. No real hope.
Clean round from Dignitas. Not losing a single member. Very important on that CT when you're playing an anti-eco, because you want to make sure you have all the utility you need. That's what they're going to have, and they're going to have some back to work with. Even if Immunity wins a round, that's not going to force Dignitas to save.
This is a bit of a Kobe grenade, isn't it? That almost killed 3 people.
Slam dunk.
Yeah, I like that. Well, that's going to bring it 6 rounds for either team. Moving into the 13th round here. Still the first half. Still the first map. Remember, freedom. Oh, what a shot to open James! He walks right into it, and it looked like it was the very last pixel that Pimp managed to get. Gonna say there's a lot on the line, and right now both teams are playing like that's true. Ustilo gonna get the refrag though, taking down Kjaerbye.
It's a huge advantage for the terrorist side. 4-on-4 is always gonna put the CT in an awkward situation where you sort of have to take a risk and leave a certain area of the map a bit of open. As you can see from the minimap, it's gonna be inner bomb site. It's only gonna be occupied one player.
Maybe Immunity doing that a couple too many times through team main. We've seen them rush through there before, but still it was a 6 shot for Pimp to land. But in the meanwhile, it has been answered back. 4-on-4 here. Everything to play for both teams. Very slow approach from Immunity. You can see Sniper's trying to get some information for his team. Try and maybe sell this fake. Up on upper. He spots the player. That's going to be MSL on the side. Can't connect the dots. Ustilo, meanwhile, does land the frag. And only 2 Dignitas players stand.
AC being one of them here at the A bomb site, making a lot of noise. He's very low on health as well, so they should know. He gets a headshot on Ustilo. That's a very unlikely frag, but Imagine's going to bring it back, and it's still a 1 versus 3 for Pimp here. And the bomb is making its way onto A, but it's very hard for him to find an opening. And once the bomb goes down, Unless they make big mistakes on Immuntiy here, he shouldn't be able to find a way back into the round, and should even already now consider just saving this rifle here. It's a very valuable tool for them in the upcoming rounds, and I'm not sure going for it here is a good idea.
It's not. He needs to retreat right now. He's not letting go, is he?
Wow.
There he goes. Sniper picks him off.
He actually ends up doing a lot of damage, and I think that's one of those moments where you just want to be the hero, but it's not necessarily worth it.
Great play from Immuntiy there. There was a fake going to the inner bomb site, but the thing that they attacked outer bomb site to get there, making sure that there's always going to be someone to revenge a kill if one occurred by Dignitas. Really took that bomb site. I don't really understand why Pimp went for that anymore.
Interesting enough, Immuntiy have gone for double op setup on their T side. So really heavy emphasis on the picks, and it's MSL that takes the first, and Schneider with the second. This has gone horribly wrong for Immuntiy once again.
That was the MSL fall off the ledge into a random headshot move there. Kind of hard to replicate. It works out just fine here in the 14th round. 3 versus 5 in favor of Dignitas. Still playing somewhat aggressively, which is a way of giving Immuntiy a way back into the round. I would be really careful of our Schneider with that one, because as they are right now, they could stack 2 in B, 3 in A, and they'd generally be just fine with almost anything Immuntiy have to throw at them. But if they start fighting now, it could be a way back. There's still some time here on the clock, 50 seconds just about.
Yeah, similarly to what we saw last time when it was important for Immuntiy to be able to refract. Now it's Dignitas actually in this situation, 5-on-3. Position yourself in the manner where it's always going to be a guy to revenge a kill if that occurs.
Things grinding to a bit of a halt in this round. Immuntiy just desperate to get one frag to give them a glimmer of hope here. Here comes the play. 25 seconds left on the timer. They have to go for this one. MSL again, holding the angle. He gets taken down first. That's a crucial frag. Potentially, there's James as well. And suddenly it's a 3-on-3 with the bomb planted.
Oh, AC trying to see if he can salvage this. James picking up a second kill. It's 2 versus 2 with the bomb down as well. Somehow Immuntiy have made it back into this round. And James covering. Schneider going to get really close there. And Imagine now going to be all alone. But he's on the bomb train as well here. Trying to get the spray down. Not going to work. And Kjaerbye will take it. Schneider jumping close. And they do have a kit as well. So they should be just fine here. And that's going to be the 14th round going in favor of Dignitas. Gotta say, those were some very, very questionable positions on the Danish side.
The recovery, that's what it was. MSL, unfortunately, he was overextending that angle. I would advise anyone that holds that inner bomb site to go and watch how Taz does it. One of his bro, he does the perfect angles. He's not actually facing that lower lane. He's letting them come further up to him, and that's when he has the advantage. So just peeking a bit too tight of an angle there. MSL almost cost him.
The bomb plant at least means that Immuntiy are able to buy a couple of AKs this round. Long range spray, and Kjaerbye just barely comes out on top of that fight. Still 15 health left. AC gonna pick up James, and at the end here of the 15th round, it's not looking good once again for Immuntiy. The Danes have started to pick it up. It's just Sniper and Ricky left here.
It is. They've got at least a couple of assault rifles. And let's see if Dignitas can let things slip again. There's another frag out of thin air from Ricky. He has been pretty potent today, I think it's safe to say. But he's got to go 3 more men if he wants to take Immuntiy with the lead into half-time. And the other worrying thing is that the bomb is in no man's land. He has to push out. In doing so, he will be taken out. And Dignitas, just about by the skin of their teeth, take the 1-round lead.
I'm not even surprised they picked up those 7 rounds. Like it's being told, they've had some really good T sides here this week. But it's the CT sides that have really let them down. So it's time to see how they fare this time around.
I don't know what it is. I'm starting to get the sense that Ricky's a player that responds very well to pressure, because the last time we saw him explode was during the group stage of the last major. There's a lot of pressure there. If you don't make it out, you know, if you make it out, you go into the playoffs. If not, you're going to be going home, and he played his heart out. But earlier in this tournament, he was a little bit off, and I'm wondering now he's starting to realize, you know, it's now or never. He is playing, he's on fire. You can tell he's tuned in at the moment.
Let's say Dignitas is opted to buy some nades here. That suggests it's going to be some kind of a setup to the outer bomb site. It's happening. It's the sandwich mode.
Look at MSL just trying to sneak in here, but imagine Ricky picking up a triple kill. They're all headshots, and it's going to be the end. Dignitas, nothing to say in that round. What a way to start.
And that's the second pistol round going Immunity's way. in theory, they should have a great chance of picking up this round. And look at these headshots. It's beautiful work. It's Ricky.
Just after Anders said, maybe he rises to the occasion, and then 3 taps.
Yeah,
some players do, definitely. You know,
how do you channel your inner rage in the situation?
Some people bow out, they kind of crumble, and some people stand up tall.
Forced buy from Dignitas has to be pointed out. Seems like they're setting up for an inner bomb side push. A couple of smokes and a flash to work with.
And this is great. They're going to be playing up close against Justilo with that P90. Now, it's pretty good against armor as well. But I mean, if you get close to those tech lines, you can win this fight very quickly and get a bomb plant. I hope that Dignitas are thinking about having at least one guy guarding from behind and maybe even flanking from behind on Pop Dog. That could be very useful. But they need to kill Justilo first. He's here with the P90. He's going to get one. He keeps spraying, and it's a double kill, and that's very valuable here. And James tuned in as well. Going to get the quick kill there. It's now only Kirby left. They just get the bomb plant.
They do, but as you said, it's just him against the world, and there's not much he can do from that position. I guess the fact they do at least get a bomb plant is a bit of a saving grace, but they did commit to that round as well with Tech 9 and
exactly. They full bought into that one, so they were hoping for a lot more than just a bomb plant. It was Justilo, I should say, I guess, that made the biggest impact. Getting those 2 first kills is a huge factor. That's when you get those tech rounds, when you go in or going whatever you are, getting the first kill is so crucial. That's giving you a lot of ground, and they didn't manage to get it. And that's going to be putting Dignitas to a save round. A couple of flashes, oh, actually a flash and a smoke in play, so they're going to try and get another bomb plant here.
Looks like it's James this time using a very similar position to where MSL was. And it was that Kobe nade, I think you called it, before. That hit like 3 people and did, I don't know, must have done at least 150 damage in total across the board. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable to assume it was around that area. See if they can do it without the armor and just rushing in to get a better entry this time than last time. Sniper in the back line here. He's going to go down to Pimp. I have no idea how. That was Pistol versus Scout. MSL playing close and applying the pressure. He's picked up an M4, but he can't get the kill. Now it's all on Pimp here. 1 versus 3, but still a huge success here for Dignitas. Bomb plant and 2 kills. He is so far being grenaded away here. Going to come in, try and see if he can get the kill. There's already one guy defusing. Pimp not hitting him. Knife missile as well, but he's not going to be able to get it. They defuse the bomb while they're all in the smoke. That was ridiculous.
A great example of the difference aim punch does again. There was a lot of good opportunities for Dignitas there to actually take this round, but they just lost the spray duels to the matter that they didn't have armor. But still a great job getting 2 kills, getting the bomb down. That could be huge going here into this first weapon round.
Yeah, now is going to come a pretty big test from Immuntiy with the AKs, with the grenades. And it's a fast push as well from Dignitas, but they're going to walk into the wall. That is Justilo. He gets 2 kills. AZ with the Molotov will bring this back, but look at the ruthless aggression from Dignitas. They're pushing through the smoke. And the trains keep going backwards and forwards. 2v1. MSL's up on the train. He's going to try and spray down, but he can't do anything. And Immuntiy have repelled that round.
Their city side is revitalized. There we go. Being able to, that was Dignitas trying to apply the pressure. I'm sure they acknowledge the fact that it was the city sides that Immuntiy was having problems with. So Dignitas trying to apply some early pressure, failing in the end.
But they're going to keep the pressure up, it seems, buying one more time here. I mean, I've got to say, I love the sort of the ruthlessness of that one. Just Kirby with the underhand flash right through the smoke, not stopping at all. It just took a little bit too long, but still, very impressive idea. That's now 11-8 favoring Immuntiy here, and some early grenades coming out. Not going to do too much, but still a good plan. Now let's see if they can get the entry this time around Dignitas. If they do that on this B-bomb site, then I think with rifles, they've got a really good shot of winning it.
MP7 pickup here, Natsu. Is that something that could potentially cost Immuntiy big hit?
Well, he was expecting Dignitas to save at this point. That's why he bought it. He's going to be in for a surprise.
I guess it may not be the end of the world. He can pick up weapons from corpses, but look at his position as well. He's close on the site. He's isolated. He's been spotted and dropped in the first 3 frags. All go the way of Dignitas. Ricky and Estella, all that remains. Ricky at least has picked up a frag, but the bomb's been planted.
Pull back. Time to save, boys. Nothing to see here.
Full
the bomb is done for.
It's been soundless. That gives us a little bit of time, because I want to ask this question now to where Sniper was holding. We talked about the MP7, but no matter what rifle he had in that position, once his teammate goes down on the sidewalk, and obviously the way that I think it was James got entry there, it was a bit of a surprise. You know, it's not like James was taking any crazy fights. He just got killed really quick. But then Sniper, what could he really do? I mean, they're coming in from both angles. He's kind of like locked in there.
Yeah, wrong positioning. You need to be up front. You need to be somewhere where you you put yourself in an all-in position, but that you have room to move, because with the submachine guns, they are pretty accurate when you're moving around as well. So you sort of have to try and use the surprise factor.
If you find yourself in that position, though, if you're there and you realize, oh, I can't do anything, is it better to just fight, or is it better just to like stay where he's hoped to get a good angle?
It would have been best to just run and try to do something instead of just waiting. That's for sure.
All right then.
But well, it's not easy in that situation to obviously make that decision.
No. We've got all the hindsight in the world here. Well, Ricky's got that AWP on, personally excited for it. We'll see if he can land some good shots here. It's going to be standing in the fire, and Ace, he picks up a double kill. And now Stilo trying to get the shot as they cross over, but Pimp falling off the train will get it instead. And Kirby, he sees the flank coming. He's going to get one, and Sniper is alone. He goes down to Schneider, who gets a double. Actually, Schneider killed Pimp with a Molotov. This is a great round. We need to play this in slow motion, because a lot of things happened.
That was chaos, and that was fast plays from Dignitas once again. They just keep applying that pressure. Put more gas on. Seems to be working. It didn't work to start off with, but right now it's favoring Dignitas, and that's going to be putting Immuntiy on a save round. It's the point where Dignitas probably also recognizes the fact that it's not time to do a fast push. It's time to play it a bit slower, be more cautious.
And then on the flip side, Immuntiy are saying, okay, we got pistols, let's just charge on in. Unfortunately, it's not going to play out too well for them, because Pimp and Kirby are there with their AK-47s. And this should be Dignitas tying us back up at 11 all. What a fantastic first map this is proving to be.
Now the situation is so that Immuntiy has to use a lot of utility in the beginning of the rounds to team aim, to pop dog, use Molotovs, grenades, and Dignitas can actually use that in their favor.
Sniper gonna go down last here. Only one kill happening for the CT side. I love this push down Ivy though. I think it's really good. I think you should do it. Maybe not with 3 people, but even in rifle rounds, you can do it a couple of times. Because the thing is, if you see people, it's a little bit tricky to take a fight. You shouldn't be fighting too long there. But if you don't see anyone at all, if there's nobody setting up, that's a lot of information you gain just from a single peek there.
And especially in save rounds, I really do appreciate when teams have certain plans, and you sort of have to take risks in those ones. So it's all right in the save round to send 3 people there.
Dignitas are loving this fast push through team main. Ace's picked up 2 frags on this Molotov that you can see that Schneider's about to walk over. But it's going to be James with that cheeky peek that picks himself up a frag, tries to get back to the sanctuary of his bomb site, realizes he's all by himself, and Azi's there with embracing arms. That will be a bomb plant.
Schneider still waiting out here. Imagine him having a bit of a fight, and that's going to be really important for the rest of this round. It's going to be Imagine to pick up Schneider, and now they can actually focus on the retake here. Ricky going to pick up a kill, but MSL's taken 2 in return, and now it's down to a 2 versus 2 here. They actually have 1 grenade left on Pimp, but no one low enough on Immunity to be killed by it. Imagine trying to see if he can get closer. A lot of time already wasted. MSL has picked up a triple before he goes down, and Pimp going to be sneaking in. He sees nobody's on it. Imagine he's in a world of trouble. He's just going to hold it down. What else could he do? Pimp wins the round, just barely there, and it's going to be Dignitas coming out on top here. There was a lot happening in this one round.
Problem was that Immuntiy was giving way too much room for Dignitas. They're not applying enough pressure front of yard. They need to use more nades, Molotovs, smokes, and actually applying pressure going up front. So you have to acknowledge that it's just going to be Snyder there alone instead, and then they're going inside.
And I've got to appreciate as well, as soon as James gets that entry, you see how fast Dignitas communicate. They know he's trapped. He has to fall back. Let's just run down the ramp and pick him off. That's very cool. Some very, very fast pacing here on the Danish side. It's just pistols, no armor on this particular round for Immuntiy. So I've got to ask here, as it looks like Dignitas is going to win the round. What would you like to see change here from the Australian side? How can they start winning some rounds again here on the second half?
They need to start pushing aggressively on yard. They really need to. They need to start using Molotovs and grenades, smokes, get that early information, try to interrupt whatever Dignitas is trying to push at you, so that you know if it's an actual push to out of bomb site, so that you know if it's a fake before it's too late, so you can communicate that with guy inner bomb site. He can position himself in a position that he can deal with if they're actually pushing inner bomb site as well.
I completely agree. The only person that seems to be pushing aggressive is James. And he's consistently going up to upper, he's getting a frag, but then he's getting overrun by just Dignitas players.
We have double ops from Immuntiy. See how that really changes their game plan on CT.
That suggests that they're probably not going to go too aggressive, though.
Well, Sniper is being smoked and flashed out here, and Kemp, he sees it coming. You weren't quite sure on the model there. It looked like he could have looked the other way, but that's giving up a big opportunity here, obviously, and that's one of the rifles gone. Stilo's going to go down as well. Schneider just guessing the angle, maybe helped by the fact that it wasn't the M4A1, but the M4A4, so those traces are being given away. Schneider going to go down to Ricky, and they're trying to see if they can fight it back here, but Dignitas, they've got all the time in the world, and they've got them an advantage.
That's time to play together. Time to chill, not make any hasty decisions. And like I mentioned before, it's all about those refrags when you have the numbers on your side. Make sure that you keep those numbers on your side as well.
It seems to me with the double up setup, they have the same idea you had, Natu, but just a different approach to it. Instead of going aggressive, they wanted to stack 2 AWPs and try and just pick off players that rush through. It's working okay so far with the bomb not being planted. It's only a certain amount of time before that changes, and it's going to be right here, right now. There are defuse kits, there is utility on the side of Immunity, but this is going to be a really rough retake for the Manders.
Yeah, Kerry hiding in the corner, and it's a really good job taking down Ricky. He still has a Molotov, and that could be completely fatal. Imagine he's just going to run away. He realizes there's no chance, but if James had lived, then that one Molotov on Kirby there could be really important. AC making a lot of noise here, and Imagine he's still going to go down, and this is where the Danes are really tuned in now. 14 to 11.
I really do appreciate that they try to push Ivy, for example, but that smoke, I'm not sure if it was intended to be in the manner that it ended up being. I think that's what gave it away to Dignitas.
Well, what confused me is I think they put down the smoke and then they had a follow-up flashbang, and it seemed like as soon as that popped, Sniper just has to go all in.
Yeah, right, I agree.
And the fact that he slows down and tries to play the edge of the smoke, I mean, of course, again, like 20/20 hindsight, but whenever you slow down in that kind of push, it's going to be a little bit risky. You're still going to go down. MSL with the opening.
They played aggressive, but now they don't really have enough weapons or strong enough weapons to do so. No defuse kits. They've got utility, but it's not fantastic. There's no Molotovs or HEs to force them off the site. In doing so, the bomb has been planted. Here comes Ricky and James, though. This is a crucial round, and they have now got the player advantage. Finally, AZ and Kiev were the last 2 remaining players, and they both picked themselves up kills. It's all on James, so 1 versus 1. The time has been ticking down, though, and AZ's in a good position to strike. Throws out the Molotov, gets caught, but still picks up the frag regardless. And Dignitas now are just a couple steps away from securing this first map.
That was like a Virtus plow round from Dignitas, getting that first pick MSL, and then just plowing out all across, everywhere in the yard, and trading kills left, right, getting that bomb down.
It's kind of impressive that they could actually get the bomb down and then end up fighting, because there were a lot of people in that courtyard, so the fight kind of happened afterwards. It was really weird, actually, and almost looked like Immuntiy were going to get the better of them, especially if they caught, I think, maybe MSL like, with a grenade in his hand at some point. There's a lot of weird things happening here. It's map point now for Dignitas. 1 more round, and they're going to get the first map home. James trying his best to transfer that spray, but not going to connect. So it's back into a 4 versus 4 here, and a little bit of damage on Kirby, and the last bullet from Sniper. Oh my god, that was incredible. But Schneider's going to take down Ricky, so still 3 versus 3.
There's the bomb also in a secure position for Dignitas, so it's no big deal for them. Flash down into Pop Dog. But again, look at this. The weaponry is not great. Mag 7. Sniper's only got 1 HP. No defuse kits, only a flash and a smoke. What's the best way of securing this round, do you think, Natu, for the CTs?
Just wait. Don't do any hasty decisions. That's what they've been doing in a lot of these situations in 3-on-3s. Just wait for the first move Dignitas throws at you.
I'm so scared for Sniper. He's got so little health, and they have grenades.
Yeah, stay put. Just hope for the best. That's all he can do at this point.
If they toss a Molotov or an HE in here, and he's going to go and peek, now he's very low on health as well, so no chance almost. The fact that he gets a kill is near miraculous.
It is the issue now, though, is that with the Mag 7, he still has to play a very close angle. He can't afford to peek out prematurely. Imagine is there. They trade a 1-4, and again, it's down to AC to clutch out, but he's definitely behind in terms of hit points. He's already picked up 3 this round. We know he's a player that's capable of pulling these off. The time itself is ticking down. You can see that Imagine's going to peek and takes him out. What a close round that was, and time was the biggest enemy, I suppose, of AZ.
A scrappy round going left, like just going back and forth, really. There wasn't really an actual game plan even that Dignitas had to throw it at Immunity. It was Immuntiy playing a bit aggressive that made all those kills happen for both teams and came down to a 3-on-3 and eventually a 1-on-1. But that's Immuntiy still hanging in there.
I want to get a little bit of credit to Ricky. I mean, you've got 1 health in that corner. If he doesn't get pick up a kill, then Dignitas can just use the man advantage to win the round very easily. But the Danes are not going to give up so easily. They keep pushing here and trading. Schneider for Ustilo and MSL. They line up for him. He's going to get the double. He sprays another one. It's a triple kill. And now James is going to be alone. And this time, it's over and done with. Dignitas going to win the first map on Train. And we're going to move on to the second.
Difference is, it's yet again, it's Immuntiy not working on that CT side, and Dignitas being very smart about it as well. You want to apply pressure when you know that your opponent's CT sides are not really that strong right now.
So, I mean, a very interesting map. It seemed like it could have gone both ways at times. A pretty heavy investment late in the second half here, that double-up setup. And when that doesn't work out, it's so hard to get that CT economy back rolling.
Like I said, it was Immuntiy. They just had to play more aggressive, try to get that early information of what Dignitas is doing when they're playing that aggressive. Started to just play too passively on backyard instead of front, which they should have done.
Well, Mirage is going to be the second map, and it'll be interesting to see if Immuntiy can bring it back on that particular one. Dignitas definitely seem really fired up and quite confident in the playstyle, I would say.
Oh yeah, they really want to make it to the major. They've failed to qualify a couple of times. You can just see in their eyes right now that they're just putting all their efforts and focus into this.
Well, we're going to be back, ladies and gentlemen, after a quick break here. Mirage is coming up now. It's the second map, so stay with us, and we'll be back after this.